Thank you for tuning into clip 6 of my career journey multi-video series. If you've been following me for the last few weeks, I hope that you've been able to get some good tips that you could apply to your own career journey. If you are a new subscriber to my email or my website, head over to YouTube and look under my name, Jamelah Henry, for videos that will help you as well in your career journey. In clip 6, I am going to talk about how I had a bad boss, but a good experience. In clip 5, I talked about how I went through a discrimination case with an employer and left that employer, and another employer reached out to me. So to listen to that and find out exactly what happened, definitely listen to clip 5. So now I am in this new role. I'm a supervisor for a call center, and one of the clients from my previous employer reached out, went through that process, and now I'm in this new role. I do have experience because I was a section manager at my old job, but this is a new opportunity, new people, new experience, new work culture, environment, so forth. So I'm working this job, and the individual who sought me out, he was the actual top manager of the department that I was in. And when I started, it was a challenge at first because, once again, I'm the new person on the block. There's other people who have years of experience that's been there longer than me, been with the company for some time. Some of them were going for promotions, didn't get them. So I didn't really know the whole backstory, but I did have some challenges starting out. Fast forward, I end up resolving those issues, and everything just started working out in my favor in this new position. So I'm actually liking the job. I'm liking the people that I'm working with. Things are going pretty well. Well, this was around the time where the market started to drop because of the recession. So a lot of people were laid off around this time. It's happened probably about 6 months after I started. So many people were getting laid off, and things were definitely changing. So there were about 4 other supervisors in this department. End result was I was the last one left. Either other supervisors quit or they were laid off. So I was the last one in, and still the one who was able to stay throughout that time frame. So I worked under this manager during that time, and I can't even get into it because when I think about it, it just makes me so upset, but I can laugh about it now. But working under this manager, there were so many different issues that I experienced. So some of the issues that I experienced is, I remember one time him saying to me, if you give me good ideas and top management likes them, they came from me, not you. If you give bad ideas and top management does not like them, then it's all on you. And I was just like, really? And he was dead serious. There were other issues where he wanted to see control of everything that I did. If I had a strategy or something that I wanted to do, he would just shoot it down. He didn't even give me a chance to explain. There was a lot of things that were done, and I'm not going to bad mouth or talk bad about this individual through this video. But the whole purpose of me sharing is that I just had a very bad experience with this boss, to the point one day I decided I could not take it anymore. So I packed all my belongings on my desk, and it was around my lunchtime, and I decided I can't do this anymore. I can't work under this individual. It's basically impossible for me to do my job and also work under this individual. So I made up in my mind that I was going to quit that day. So I went out to lunch. I was on my way driving home, and something said, turn back around. So I listened to that internal voice, and I went back within my time frame for my lunch break. So it was within that hour time frame. I went back, came in like nothing even happened. So probably about a week later, this manager was called into HR. I remember him tapping on my desk and saying, hey, I have to go to a meeting. I'll be right back. I never saw him from that day forward. So he went to HR. I, till this day, don't know exactly what happened. All I know was he was terminated. And that next day when I came into work, the top management said, hey, we know we have confidence in you. We know your background. We know your experience. We've seen what you've done so far with the team. And we want to give you the department for you to run how you see fit. And I was sitting there like, are you serious? So they explained that my manager would not be coming back and that I pretty much can take over the department and do things according to how I feel would help the department to be able to prosper. So that was an opportunity for me because I had ideas already, but as I mentioned before, they were shot down and I didn't really get the chance to explain why these ideas would be good for the department. So at this point, I had that opportunity to implement things that I wanted to implement into the team. And they end up becoming successful. So for example, I had the training, we had to hire new people. So at this time, we were beginning to hire again. And I had to hire new people. And I looked at the training manual and saw that it was outdated. It wasn't modern. It was really outdated. So I had the opportunity to go in and edit this training module, all the modules for training, and be able to implement that into the new hire training class. Also, as I mentioned, this was during the time of recession, so a lot of people had more than one job. So I was not only a supervisor, but I was a new hire trainer. I also was the person who worked with HR to be able to bring new hires in. So I wore a lot of hats, but the good experience was that's where I gained most of my experience. So right till this day, I'm a trainer, career skills trainer, because I've done that with that previous job. And I did a great job in it. And I've received feedback from a lot of new hires say, hey, I've been in training at different companies before, but I really felt that I learned the most with you, with this company. You know, I've never been through this type of training. So I realized that was a strength that I had. And then also with reviewing resumes, there were times where I was so frustrated with candidates, applicants when they were applying and their resumes were being submitted. And I had a hard time choosing people, not because it was a lot of good people to choose from, but just about every resume that I saw was just not up to par. So that was an area that really registered with me and I felt like I needed to do something about. And then also when I brought candidates in for interviewing, there were people who I wish I could just grab them and just say, why did you say that? So there were so many different things, frustrations that I had when I started working with people on that HR side. And that was something that I knew that I had a passion for, because the frustration level that I had for that, I felt like I needed to do something with that. So those were different areas that I was able to pick up experience in. However, once again, I want to mention that manager, even though he did those things that I mentioned and more, it taught me a life lesson. It taught me not to give up, even though you're in a bad experience, and you want to listen to the guide on the inside. Because if I would have left that day, I wouldn't have had the experience or the opportunity to be able to utilize my skills in the way that I was able to utilize them in that role. So for anyone who is listening and you are dealing with a bad boss, a bad company, reevaluate your decision to quit, because you may not only be quitting that job, but you may be quitting on future opportunities that could be presented to you later down the line. So only you know what that may be.